especially since COVID, I need to know that everyone is having such a thorough hand washing.
Yeah, right.
Install those everywhere.
What was your favorite part about the kids' clubs besides the hand washers there, Chris?
Like all the Avengers stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Marvel Academy.
Yeah, I was mind blown when I seen that.
Yeah, it looks
nice. They have like really cool prop replicas in there.
Yeah.
And Toy Story, it was like the size of a toy. I think it was pretty cool. I wish I was a kid in here.
Yeah, the playgrounds that I grew up on never looked like that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly. Well, welcome back to the DCL podcast, your podcast to help you and your family cruise a little smarter when the ship starts sailing. And I'd like to welcome back to the show our co-host all the way down, and I always say Los Angeles, but you really don't live in Los Angeles, do you, Chris?
I mean, I live in Los Angeles County, but LA is a big place, so I technically live in Burbank, which is the home of the Walt Disney Studios.
Is that someplace that you drive by? Do you see it very often? I know it kind of sits like south by the hill, sort of, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when I commuted to an office, I drove by it every day, twice a day. But I don't commute to an office, or rather my commute is from my bedroom down the stairs to my dining room table right now during the pandemic. But yeah, I used to drive by it all the time. They also have a lot of D23 Gold member events at the Walt Disney Studios. So I've been to quite a few of those and tours and things like that. So it's a cool place.
Oh, awesome. Well, I myself do not live in Portland, although I say I live in Portland because a lot of us, we live near these big cities, but it's just easier to say, Portland, whatever else. And I think it's kind of the same thing tonight with our two guests that we have on all the way from New York City, although you guys don't really live in New York, do you? I'd like to welcome to the show tonight, Bianca and Chris.
Hello.
Hey, Steve and Chris. Thank you for having us.
Definitely. We're about, did you guys grow up in New York City?
Yeah, we grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay, so you've lived in Brooklyn your whole life. Has it changed a lot, I guess, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
And Chris, you've been to Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I have. With my company, I have an office in New York and an office in LA. So I spent about a week or two of every month in New York. But what do you mean that you don't? Where do you live now? You live in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, we live in Bay Ridge.
Okay, so that's New York City.
Yeah. I
love these Brooklyn accents that I'm sensing. I'm getting a real
Disney. They say we have an accent. We don't even know.
I'm getting a real born and raised vibe out of both of you.
Oh yeah.
So I could ask, there's like Jersey month down in Walt Disney World, or isn't there something like that? Like they call it Jersey week or month or something. Is it being in from Brooklyn or from New York City? Do you guys fall in, or are you guys completely different than all those people from Jersey?
Oh, completely different. Yeah. Completely different.
Yeah. Not the same. You're probably losing listeners right now, Steve, because everyone from New York is like, "How dare you?"
You're like, don't ever compare us to Jersey.
So, I mean, I'm not from Jersey, but I lived in Jersey for 3 years, and I'm just kind of having some fun with you guys. I know there's a complete difference between New York and New Jersey and everything like that. Both great areas to live in and be from for different reasons, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's jump into it. You guys reached out. Thank you so much for doing that, especially in this pandemic time. We're going to talk a little Disney Cruise Line tonight, which we haven't been able to do as much, have we, Chris? We've been trying to, talk about other people's vacations and everything like that. But we're going to talk about a bunch of your different cruises that you guys have been on. But before we do that, can you guys give us your Disney background? How did you guys get into Disney? When did you first start going to Disney? Tell us about how you got into that.
Well, I wasn't always a Disney kid. I was more like a Bugs Bunny kid, Tom and Jerry. Then when I got with my wife 10 years ago, she was really into Disney, like really, really into Disney. And then one day she was looking over vacations of what to do. And next thing you know, she says, "Oh, we're going on a Disney cruise." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't even know it exists. I always dreamed of going to Disney World, and I've never been. And then I came across the Disney Cruise Line, and I'm like, "Oh, that's what we're doing." And that started it.
So you guys went on the cruise line first, but because it's usually so many people do it the opposite way around. They're going to the parks and then they find the cruise line. How did you find the cruise line? Was it in a poster or what on the web or what?
Honestly, I don't even know.
I think you were just Googling Disney vacations.
Possibly, yeah. I can't really remember, but I do remember just coming across Disney Cruise Line, and it was a 2-for-1 for us because we did an 8-night sailing out of New York. and we got to go on a cruise, and we got to go to Disney World on that cruise. So we got to experience it all.
You did everything in that one fell swoop of a vacation with Disney Cruise Line, didn't you?
It was perfect.
So, Bianca, your love of Disney, was it the movies? Was it the cartoons? What drew you to Disney as you were growing up?
I was always watching Disney movies, Disney Channel, and I feel like that's all I've watched growing up. And so that I just had a love for Disney, all I can remember.
Chris, did you grow up with the Disney Channel? I feel like that was kind of a little bit, I don't want to date myself, but that was a little bit after me. It kind of came out.
I did not really grow up with the Disney Channel because we didn't really have cable TV when I was a kid. I grew up as like a pastor's kid, so we didn't have anything but like certain TV shows that we were allowed to watch. That being said, I have more than made up for it as an adult. And all the Disney Channel shows are on Disney Plus now, so I can just like go back in time and figure out who Lizzie McGuire is.
So let's go back to that first cruise then. So you guys find Disney Cruise Line. You're like going to go on this cruise out of New York City where you guys live, so you don't have to travel all the way down to Florida. This was your first cruise, I'm taking it as well?
Yes.
Yes. In general, yeah.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody else about cruising? Like, did you try and find out any information? Like, what's it like to go on a cruise? Or did you just go into it completely blind?
Yeah, we just went in not knowing absolutely anything
This
about
was
it.
our first vacation as a couple in general, without parents, anything. So we went in it completely not knowing nothing, not knowing what we were doing.
Everyone was really surprised. Like, you're going on a Disney cruise, you're 20 years old, you have no kids. Like, why?
Wait, so you sailed out, your first cruise, you sailed out of New York?
Yeah.
And then down to, what, Castaway?
It was 8 nights. So we left from New York City, then it went to, I think, Bahamas first, then Castaway, then Florida, and then back up to New York City.
And the Florida stop was like you could get off the ship, go to Disney World, and come back like at midnight. And
Yes.
get
That's
back on the
exactly.
ship.
Yes.
And it included a ticket to the parks.
Yes.
Yes.
Park hopper.
Okay. Those cruises, I feel like, Steve, is it true or not true that in the past couple seasons they haven't been doing the stop at Port Canaveral, right?
No, what they've done out of New York is either going up to Canada or they just go straight down to the Bahamas. And people use it for that. Because I know, especially people in New York like yourselves, they love going down to the Bahamas. You get 2 full days in port there. So I think the focus is more there rather than going all the way down to Walt Disney World nowadays.
Even when we went to the other cruise, we actually stayed at Disney World before and after to get that experience, because we know we're not going to be able to stay in Florida since we're going to be on the cruise. So we just stayed an extra 2 days before and after just to have that experience.
And when you did that, did you go into all 4 parks?
No.
We just went to Magic Kingdom for a day, and then we had the cruise, and then when we came back, we did Epcot.
Are there any parks at Disney World that you haven't been to yet?
Nope.
We just didn't do like full day at Hollywood Studios, but we have went to every single park.
Okay, what about West Coast? Have you been out here to Disneyland ever?
No, we
No.
want to, though. We really do.
Well, there's no point in going right now. But when we reopen, I encourage it, because if you like Florida and if you find that you're a Disney fan, there's just something about the history of Disneyland that makes it really special. And Cars Land, which is Steve's favorite.
So I got to go back and talk about this first cruise first, because this just kind of blows my mind, because I think the majority of the people that probably listen to this podcast have got everything planned to the nth degree, and the idea of showing up and not knowing like what your boarding group's supposed to be and like what you're going to do when you get on the ship and everything like that is just like, I think, so completely foreign. I mean, what was that like walking on the Disney ship the first time when you guys finally got on board?
I cried. I think I cried.
Yeah, I think she did cry.
I think I cried.
It was like we would have never expected to ever go on a cruise, let alone a Disney cruise. It was just like, as soon as you walk in, that first time experiencing when they say, "Oh, what's your family's name?" And then they say, "Oh, Bianca and Chris," and they start clapping. It's like, whoa, it's like, what? Wow. And
I remember getting the chills. Like, it's just
yeah,
the feeling that they gave us, I never felt in my life. And it was just so they made it so magical from the very moment we got on.
And so did you looked at like any like diagrams of the ship? Did you even know where to go or how to get to your room? Or like, how did that work? Like, how did you find your room? What did you guys do?
I don't even think there was any like YouTube videos about.
I don't really feel like we did any research. I think we went into this not knowing anything. And I can't remember getting any guidance. We were lost. And we were on the Magic, and that wasn't even big. But to us, it was huge at the time.
Right. What category room did you book for your first cruise?
That one was an ocean view. I don't know. Was it the...
I think it was it the 6? Level 6.
So like a level 6 balcony, or not balcony, ocean view room with like a single porthole?
I think it was 2 small.
It was the double porthole.
2 small portholes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then were either of you worried about like motion sickness? Or, I mean, 8 days is kind of a long cruise for someone who's never been on a cruise. You were just really fully committed.
We just said, you know what, let's just do it.
We weren't worried about us getting sick. I don't think that even came across our mind.
I was more worried about flying. I was more worried about flying than actual, being on the cruise. So.
And you didn't have to fly for that first one, right? Because you sailed out of New York and right back into New York. So you were like, I got this.
It was literally like a 30-minute drive, maybe not even, to get to the port.
And I mean, I used to live in New York, but there's something still about some of those iconic parts of New York that I bet you the sail away was still kind of special for you to go past
of course.
Statue of Liberty and down the Hudson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not like being on the ferry, that's for sure.
Amazing. Yeah, I've never done it, but for all those reasons, I would consider sailing out of New York for sure. Just because, that's such an iconic sail away.
Yeah, and it saves so much money. We don't have to worry about plane tickets, hotel. It's just you just drive and come back, and that's it.
So you guys start, the dining experience too. How was that like, the first time? So you're going to different dining rooms and the servers are coming with you. And what were your thoughts as you went to the different dining rooms on this first cruise and the food in general?
So we had the second dining for all the cruises that we went on. At first, we didn't understand the rotational dining. We didn't know that we had to go to different ones. I know it was on the Key to the World card. We were like, what the R or the L stands for. We didn't know until we got like the paper and explained it. Then when we sat down, there was people sitting next to us and we're like, are we supposed to be with them? We didn't know what that was about. So that was kind of strange. But actually, to this day, we absolutely love that. The experience was amazing.
And the people we sat with, how long it was, 8 years ago, we're still friends with on Facebook to this day.
I bet my guess would be that Disney probably put you next to another young couple, right?
Yeah, there was two more couples. I think one was celebrating their honeymoon and one was the graduation, yeah.
So you got to be with like people your age, no other kids at like a 6-person table. So that's one of the things Disney does really great is they sort of try to match you up with people who might have similar interests or similar backgrounds. That way you can make friends at dinner and it's not super awkward. So it sounds like you made friends and it wasn't super awkward.
Oh, yeah. Every cruise we made friends. Every single cruise.
That's awesome.
What did you guys find yourselves doing then? So you get to dinner and everything like that, and there's like all these different things to do on the ship, and you're exploring this kind of magical ship for the first time. What were some of the things that you found to do that you really enjoyed?
Well, the first thing we did was get ice cream. And that's always the first thing we do. It's like a new tradition now. As soon as we go on Disney, we go straight to the ice cream.
Yes. So we found ourselves there a lot.
And then we just hang out and wait for the sailing away party. Did we do Cabanas too?
We would do Cabanas, yes.
Have lunch at Cabanas. And then after the sailing away party, that's when we would go to our room for the first time.
Wow. Are you into the nighttime entertainment, the shows? Do you ever go to the Buena Vista Theater to watch movies?
Yes.
Are you into trivia? What are your cruise itinerary highlights?
We do the game shows. We love Match Your Mate.
Match Your Mate is the best.
Yes.
So fun.
The trivias we go to, although we don't pass them. Low scores.
It's more like we just watch.
Yeah.
At the time, we couldn't drink, so we never did any of the mixology classes or beer tasting, anything like that. That was after. The movies, we went to the movies a few times.
We did the shows. We would watch movies on the Funnel Vision, walk around, enjoy the scenery.
Did you end up doing stuff with people from your table then too? Did you guys do some different things with them, either in the parks when you were or Castaway, or did you run into them on the ship, I guess?
Yeah, we would run to them on the ship. We'll hang out in like the hot tub or the pool. The movies.
We wouldn't really like plan anything. We would, if we see them in a hot tub, we'll hang out with them, or we'll when we're on the deck. But we don't really like socialize and hang out and like relax and chit chat. I think that would be only when we're in the pool.
Yeah, that would be it.
Right?
Yeah.
This is kind of a general question I wanted to ask you, and I'll just throw it out here now. Being younger and going on this cruise for the first time without kids, and a cruise line that is so family centric, and as we've all know, there's so many different things to do on there for so many different people. Do you feel like, being younger without kids and everything like that, do you recommend Disney Cruise Line for people your age without kids?
Absolutely.
And why?
Although we don't have children, I feel like the children are not even around us. There's so much going on. There's so many activities for the adults in between the adult area, the nightclubs, your experience with dinner in the hot tub. Like, I don't know why we wouldn't recommend it, because it's just, there's so many things for an adult to do, and you don't need children to go on the cruise with. Right?
Yeah, you don't. And the children are very like respectful. They're well mannered. It's not like, they're bad kids. It's just
screaming. I don't recall even saying, oh my goodness, these children are screaming. No.
Nothing.
So I think it's enjoyable for an adult, even if you don't have children.
And I don't mean it badly that way, in a sense that like you have to have kids to go on a Disney cruise or something like that. It's just, and I think
that's the like thing that people assume. And for like a young couple, my husband and I had the same thing where people were just like, wait a minute, why are you in your like early 30s going on a Disney cruise by yourselves? That's weird. And I'm like, well, you might think it's weird while we are having fun, sipping our cocktails on a private beach in the Bahamas.
Yes, we're with you on that.
So I think it is just like a vibe. And I don't know if you'll agree with me, but it's cool that they commit so fully to creating adult-only spaces, because if you want to be on a Disney cruise and not be around kids, that is totally possible. Like, you could go to Serenity Bay, or you can like go to Match Your Mate. Seth and I were on Match Your Mate one time. I don't think we've ever even told that story on the podcast, but maybe one day we will. It's a little risque, as is Match Your Mate, but we find that there's so many adult things to do that even without kids, there's a value in Disney cruises.
Yes, I agree.
There's just so many activities that you would never think Disney would have for adults. And I think that's what people don't know, that we're trying to tell people that, hey, listen, it's okay. It's fine.
Let's kind of go down that rabbit hole then. What are some of your favorite things that you guys like to do? You talked about a couple of them, as far as you love Match Your Mate. Have you been on Match Your Mate?
No.
I
don't think I have the guts.
I was going to say, would you do it? What are some of the other things you like to do? Do you like doing like the drawing classes, mixology? What are some of the other things you guys like to do on the ship?
I think the mixology was probably one of the best ones we did.
Yes.
Which we always do, and also the champagne tasting. Even the drawing, when we draw. Oh,
yes. I think we did it every cruise.
For the Christmas cruise, we did the ornaments.
We did the ornaments, and we did the gingerbread man decorating. We did coasters. We try to join all the crafts that they offer for the adults. We did a scrapbook making.
Oh, scrapbook making, yeah. And even the fish extenders, too, we did, which was really fun.
How did your drawings turn out?
Horrible. I feel like it came out hard. It comes together nicely, but like my goofy ear would look weird. But it's fun. Very fun. But sometimes you have to wake up early for some of those classes.
That is true. My Mickey Mouse always looks like a bear whenever I do it. I keep trying, so anyways. Well, let's go into some differences here. You guys have been on a bunch of different cruises. Let's just, before we talk about those, let's talk about, since you've been, the different ships you've been on the Magic, the Fantasy, the Dream, but you're still missing the Great White Whale, the Wonder, huh?
Yes. Well, we have a cruise set for next year, but who knows at this point, which will be our Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So that one is from Canada to Alaska.
Chris and Seth are still waiting to get on the Wonder as well. She's a tough ship.
We had 2 Wonder cruises canceled, but we might be going on the Wonder with friends of the show, Brian and Sam, in the spring of 2022. And I have high hopes that we will be sailing again by the spring of 2000 of the year 2022.
Yes, cross.
Yeah, if we're not sailing in a year and a half from now, that's going to be tough. So, well, let's just go down some different favorite things. So you've been on basically the Classic and the Dream Class ships, although you're missing the Wonder. Which one would you gravitate towards, Classic or Dream Class?
The Classic.
And why?
Probably because it's the first one we went on.
Yes, it's the first one we went on, so
It's more like us.
it's definitely, hands down, the Magic would be one.
And we went on the
Well,
Magic.
it was your first.
And
Yeah,
we went on the Magic
three
times.
times. 3 times.
Wait a minute. I don't think I have a full picture of what's going on here. How many cruises have you been on?
5.
5.
Okay. So you are gold.
Yes.
That's fun. Nice to be gold. You get that 10% discount on everything that you buy.
Well, we didn't get to experience it yet,
Well,
right?
we haven't get to experience it yet because we have to
All
wait.
the more reason to go cruising
Yeah.
after these vaccines are ready.
All right, so we gravitate towards the Classic ship versus the Dream. Let's go just through some different things. Then, what's your favorite cabin type that you've been in?
The Ocean View.
Definitely the Ocean View.
And
Because
why?
we only experienced the 2, so comparing them.
The Ocean View, yeah.
The
I think
space.
I think it's more better for people who are afraid of like being inside, like claustrophobic. I think if you have a window, it's fine. I don't like. We never had a veranda, but I feel like you don't really need to have a veranda because if you're gonna be exploring the ship all day, I don't think there's really like a purpose of
Yes.
paying the extra for a veranda. I mean, unless you're gonna be you're gonna be inside a lot.
Yeah, that's why on our last 2, we did an inside because we felt like we were always, we only went to our room to sleep and to get ready. So we didn't feel like we were spending enough time to get an ocean view for the shorter cruises, at least.
We have only done veranda, but our cruise on the Wonder, we were going to try an inside for the first time. Because I think I agree with you that, well, I don't know yet. I haven't tried it. I'm a little worried about claustrophobia. So, your point about doing a window ocean view vibe is a good point because there's probably something to be said about if you get a little claustrophobic, but you don't necessarily want to spring for a veranda, having that window is just a nice little halfway point between the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down with your favorite restaurant that you guys like going back to each time.
Tangled.
Well, I like the Rapunzel, the Tangled one, but it's not on every.
It's only on the Magic.
Yeah. So
On your favorite ship.
yes, on
Yeah.
my favorite ship.
Which the first 2 times we went on, it wasn't even on the Magic.
Yeah, it was Paris.
Right.
I would say Animator's Palette.
Animator's Palette, yeah.
You're so
Okay.
Animator's
The
Palette.
best then would be classic animator's palette or dream and fantasy animator's palette.
That's a tough one.
I say classic. Oh, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
Steve and I happen to have the same opinion on this one.
That's a good one.
What do you like about the more modern one? You like seeing Crush?
Yeah, I think the interactions with Crush is really nice.
I'm a softie for the classic animator's palette. I need a parade with Mickey Mouse in Sorcerer Mickey outfit at the end of the dinner.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
my
I
jam.
I cry every time I see him in there.
Yeah. But I get it. The Crush experience is really cool. And if you get the right seat there, he comes right up and talks to you. That's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just hurt that nobody picked Lumieres or Tritons.
Wait, okay, so sticking with food, have you been to any of the adult-only restaurants?
Yes, we have done Palo for our
Honeymoon.
honeymoon.
For
Oh, we
brunch.
did Palo for our honeymoon as well. We have done dinner and brunch. You said you did brunch?
Yes.
Okay, what was your favorite thing that you tried there?
Definitely the chicken palm.
Yeah, we ordered 2 chicken balls.
Yeah.
I think that you're not alone there, right, Steve? I feel like most of our guests talk about the chicken parm being like chef's kiss.
So I just have to say, if we got 2 New Yorkers telling us that the chicken parm is good, then that's saying something, right?
Yeah, it's good.
If the New Yorkers are ordering chicken parm, then the chicken parm is good, right? So,
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about brunch there? Any other things that you guys enjoyed?
I probably had like 10 chocolate covered strawberries.
Yes, he really did.
Listen, Here's the thing. Those chocolate-covered strawberries are like $3 a piece if you go buy them in like Sweet on You or Vanilla Peas or whatever. But if you get them at Paulo's, they're included. And you can just have 20 of them.
That's why I took advantage of that.
This is like the biggest
I
strawberries
agree.
ever, too, right?
Yeah.
They're delicious. There's literally nothing better than a chocolate-covered strawberry. So I think that Chris and I are on the same page here.
Yes. You like their cannolis too.
Oh, the cannoli. Oh, you can't go wrong with the cannolis too.
You sound like a couple of Italians from New York. You can't go wrong with a cannoli.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep rolling then. What about a favorite bar or drink? Is there a place that you guys like to hang out as a couple either during the day or in the evening after dinner or before dinner?
So if you're looking for us, we will be in the hot tub all day having drinks. Chris will have his
Mojitos.
favorite mojitos, raspberry mojitos that we've tried in the mixology, and now he's glued to them. Now he even makes them at home. And then for me, I have the pina colada.
Which we always hang out in either the top deck or the pub, which is the Snuggly Duckling.
Oh yeah, we go to the Snuggly Duckling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What else did we try?
We like the drinks of the day.
The drinks of the day, and the what's the cart? The cart.
Oh, in the morning they would do the Bloody Mary and the mimosa cart. So we would do that also. So we'll be up there during the day.
Now, wait a minute. I am not a Bloody Mary drinker, but where's this cart, and how do they kind of compare to other Bloody Marys they had? Are they does Disney Cruise Line knock it out of the park when it comes to Bloody Marys?
I never had a Bloody Mary. I usually go for their mimosas.
But it's only on a day at sea.
It's
right?
on the day at sea, yes.
It's only on the day at sea.
And it's just roving throughout the deck or something?
In around the adult area, the pool.
It's just
They're just I have to send it to you guys. Yes.
Yeah, I've actually never heard of this. That's kind of fun, having a little mojito Bloody Mary cart that comes to you while you're in the hot tub.
yeah, and it's cheaper before 11, right?
There's a certain the time. I can't remember the exact time, but it is a little bit more cheaper.
If you get it early. Okay, well, that's fun. I like a good discount. I'm also just realizing that on your first cruise, you probably weren't able to drink yet, right? You said you first cruised when you were 20?
Yeah, we wasn't able to. I thought internationally it could be 18, but I was wrong.
Well, at least for Disney.
Yeah.
They're like, no. But, I mean, that just means that your cruises got a little bit more fun as you cross that threshold.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, last question while you're on the ship then. Do you guys enjoy the shows? And if so, what's one of your favorite shows that you guys like to see or have seen?
We've probably seen all the shows except for Frozen, right?
Frozen and Aladdin.
Frozen and Aladdin. My favorite is the Golden Mickeys. That's my favorite.
And mine is Tangled, the musical.
You can't beat that little lantern moment through the theater.
Yes.
That's a favorite Disney movie too.
And you said Golden Mickeys. Tell us why you like Golden Mickeys.
I like Golden Mickeys because they have all the classic main parts of the movies, like Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan. I feel like they did it very well. How they put all like the main songs in one show, and I thought it was unbelievable. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and you could also get interviewed on the red carpet going into the theater.
Yes, that's right. And also on the Halloween cruise, the Nightmare Before Christmas, that was good too because they come out after Jack and Sally come out after the movie's over.
Yes.
And you get to interact.
Did
with
they
them.
make it snow in the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a little 4D Jack Skellington vibe.
Yes.
So did you guys get your pictures taken with Jack and Sally? Did you go talk to them?
Yes. We did.
Yeah, we did.
Do you guys go meet the characters during your cruises too?
Yes, we do.
Do you have a favorite one that you like to see?
You love Minnie Mouse and her new...
Oh yeah, Captain Minnie. I waited
Captain Minnie!
on the line, but I was so excited.
Did you get to meet her? Because you guys cruised in 2019, so was she around then?
Yeah.
And did you get pictures and everything?
Yes.
Chris is jealous.
Wait. No one's going to be able to see this because this is a podcast. But look. I'm holding up a Captain Minnie stuffed animal because I love Captain Minnie. Steve, you're going to get a Captain Minnie medal.
I know. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to send it to you.
No, it's yours.
Well, cool. So we touched on a bunch of different things on the ship. Let's talk about some of the cruises you guys have been on. So you've been down to the Bahamas. What was that like? I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that you guys went on this cruise, never been on a cruise, didn't know anything about it, just went into it blindly. What was it like going to Walt Disney World that day, experiencing the parks for the first time as well as you left the ship?
It was a little nerve-wracking because we didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't have a plan.
I think I was more nervous about getting back to the ship in time.
Yeah, I think it was also in the back of our mind. Like, we have to make sure we get back to the ship on time, which we did, but we missed the fireworks. We saw the fireworks from
The parking lot.
the parking lot because we were so afraid to miss the ship.
We stayed in Magic Kingdom the whole day.
Yes.
We didn't split up because we figured, we only have one day. We're just going to dedicate the day just to Magic Kingdom.
Have you stayed on property since then?
Yes.
So you stayed at hotels on property? Where have you stayed?
We stayed in the All-Stars, a few different ones. We stayed, and we did a long weekend. Yeah, I think the sport one was the first
sport
one.
ones we did. And there was another one too.
The music
one too, yeah.
Are you sports fans?
No,
Not really.
Same. Look, we just need to go on a cruise without Steve.
I think so.
Every time Steve references sports, I'm like, okay, moving on. So I stayed in the All-Star Music in high school because Disney World used to bring high school students from choirs all around the country to perform at Disney World. So when I was in high school, a bunch of high school kids staying at the All-Star Music Resort and then going to perform in the Magic Kingdom. And that was my first time going there. But since then, we have also stayed at Pop Century, which is a value resort. I like the value resorts. I think they're nice.
I think it's better to stay on property instead of going to another hotel. You save a lot of money and the transportation is free. Mm-hmm. So you really can't beat it.
Yeah, I mean, Disney was smart. They keep you on their property, spending money with them. And those hotels still have little bits of Disney magic and giant. I feel like my memory of the All-Star Sports is that they had like giant foosball, like foosball, hockey nets and sports things. Mighty Ducks. I feel like they have a Mighty Ducks building. And then the music is just like various music notes and stuff like that. It's fun theming too, if you had kids, but we don't. So
yeah, we still stay there.
You don't have to have kids. One of my favorite characters is Tramp, and the first time I stayed at Pop Century, I came around the corner to my room, and there was Tramp, like the giant, dog Tramp from Lady and the Tramp.
30-foot tall Tramp.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I just about brought a tear to my eye. Like, I get to hang out with Tramp for the weekend, so that was really cool. So, do you guys remember, did you guys have a favorite ride or a favorite experience from that first time being at the Magic Kingdom?
I would say either Space Mountain and Haunted Mansion.
Yes, I agree.
Are they still your favorite rides, or have you found something different since then?
No, they're my favorite.
Yeah, that's still my favorite. Yeah, definitely.
Also, the virtual 5K, we did the Space Mountain and the Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, the virtual 5K we did.
And it was we got the medal for Space Mountain and
Haunted Mansion.
Steve and I did those too. And Christy did the Tea Party, the Alice in Wonderland.
It's a good thing she's not here because she's not a fan of the Haunted Mansion there, Chris. So
No, she does not like the Haunted Mansion. When you go to California, then I am so excited for you to try our Space Mountain because not that the Magic Kingdom Space Mountain isn't fun, but Space Mountain Disneyland is like next level because they gutted it and rebuilt the entire inside of it in 2005. So it's a lot smoother and just like really high tech in there. I love that ride. I like it at Disney World, but Disneyland is so good.
Oh, I hope you get to experience that soon.
I know. I really want to go.
Yeah.
I really want to go there.
Not to mention the creme de la creme.
You'll get to.
Sorry, Chris. Not to mention the creme de la creme. Nightmare Before Christmas makeover on the Haunted Mansion is amazing.
Yes.
It's so good. It's unrecognizable. Like, they literally take so much out and put just this huge, elaborate layover. It's really good.
Yeah, and also for the Space Mountain, they do for Christmas too, right?
Oh yeah, Space Mountain. They
light it up.
They have, yeah.
Lights.
Yeah, it just depends. They've done a Christmas Space Mountain. They've done a Halloween Space Mountain. The Halloween Space Mountain's kind of scary because it's dark. Like, they make it really dark, and the whole time you're getting chased by a ghost through the galaxy, and it like swipes at the car and chases you as you speed by. And then they also switched over to something called Hyperspace Mountain, where you're flying through like Star Wars while you're on Space Mountain. So they do a ton of overlays here, but again, they can do that because of the new technology that they've added to the ride over the past decade or two. But, you know, I'm not saying that there isn't a really different vibe or a cool vibe at Space Mountain in Florida, but Space Mountain in LA or in Anaheim is really, really cool. Just something for you to look forward to.
Yeah.
Just another reason for us to go.
When you get there and you see our castle, you just have to calm down. It's really small. It looks like someone's like 2-story house. It's fine. It's fine. We know that it's not as big as Cinderella Castle, but it's the original.
They'll be like, oh, that's where the dwarves live. Where's the castle?
Yeah, where is this? Where is the castle? We're very proud of our castle, but it's very short. I think it's like 64 feet tall or something.
But it's original.
It's original. And Walt Disney built it or designed it. Worked with designers. You know what I mean.
Let's finish up with some of the ports you've been to and the cruises you've been on. You've been on a Very Merry Time and a Halloween on the High Seas. What did you guys think of those two cruises? And did you like one better than the other?
I think pretty evenly. They both had their Christmas. As soon as you walk in, you just smell the gingerbread house, and it really is like festive when as soon as you walk in there. The decorations, Santa Claus comes. The Halloween one, I might like the Halloween one a little more because
the activities. I feel like there's a lot more to offer.
And
I could be wrong, but I feel like there's a little bit more.
And you could dress up in Halloween costumes and trick-or-treating, so I think it was
a costume party.
Yeah, costume party.
Contest party.
Contest, yeah.
Did you dress up?
Yes.
What did you dress up as?
What was I?
You was like a sailor?
Yes, a sailor, and you were a Power Ranger.
I was the Green Power Ranger.
The Green Power Ranger, that's the best one.
Not Disney, but I'm like, I have to be the Green Power Ranger.
No, I mean, please always be the Green Power Ranger. He has the most intense story arc. He like became evil and then he became good. Just really good. Classic Power Ranger storytelling.
He has the
there.
dragon. He has the flute. You can't go wrong.
He has the Ocarina of Time. He's got everything he needs.
And it was cool because there was like little kids coming up to me. Oh, can I take a picture? I was like, all right.
That's cool. Steve and I have not done well. So I know for a fact neither of us have done Very Merry, right, Steve?
Right.
But you did do Halloween.
We did Halloween. Yeah, that was the last cruise we did last year. I liked it.
So what did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the tree. I thought that was really cool. The story that they told with the Halloween tree, and the thing that I think that we loved the most, which is this is totally random. They had this in Funnel Vision. It was like 11:30 at night. They had this like spooky tales with the captain or something. And Did you guys see that?
Yeah. And I do remember them doing it.
What made it cool was it was just kind of a misty kind of fog. It was warm out, but it was just kind of like this misty, foggy night. And I've got some pictures of it and this like kind of creepy captain tells like 3 creepy stories. And I think it was just more the setting of being out there in the ocean and the mist and everything in the evening that just made it was really cool. That was one of our favorite things to do. And Chris is looking at me like, you're crazy.
I'm just trying to understand. It's not the actual captain of the ship.
No. It's like it's like kind of a creepy old sea captain telling old sea stories.
Okay, that's fun. I mean, Christy is the one who would be like hard pass.
Yeah. No, she would not be up for that at all. All right, how about some of the port adventures you guys have been on and the different ports you've been on? Anything stand out that you want to talk about, or what were some of your favorite things that you guys have been able to do?
When we go to Castaway, we always do the bike riding. I think that's one of the main things that we always love to do is the bike riding because you get to experience the whole island. And plus you get a nice little workout too after all the food.
Yeah. And you tempt your fate by climbing up that old rickety wooden tower to see the overview.
We did snorkeling, which was fun, but it was cold. We did it And for the Christmas one, or
For the Christmas one, it was cold. We couldn't even get in the water.
the recent one we went on, we did it, but it was cold.
But the one in February we went on it. Yeah, we did it, but it was
cold.
chilly. Yeah.
It's weird because the water in the summer is like bathtub water. I like when you walk in, it feels warm to me, but in the winter, you're right. It takes a couple minutes to get used to.
And I think one of our favorites is in Mexico. We went to Passion Island, I think it is.
Yes, that was so much fun.
What did you guys do there?
We went to it was like a private island, right?
Yeah, we had to go on a boat.
It was all inclusive. We went on a boat.
Sounds like a reality TV show.
Yeah, right.
This week on Passion Island.
Yeah. It does. You're right. It does sound like it.
We had food.
Real Mexican food.
Yes, I was so excited. I couldn't stop eating. Drinks, and we just laid out by the beach. It was really nice.
It was a nice, relaxing time.
Yes, and it was honestly maybe 10 people went with us in our group, but it wasn't crowded. I felt like it was empty.
Yeah, it was empty.
It was no one around us. It was really nice. And then we did, for another port adventure we did, was Jamaica.
Jamaica, we did
The
Dun River Falls.
Dun River Falls. That was
Did you
fun.
fall?
No.
No.
I hear it's a very slippery hike,
Yes.
It's scary.
It is scary.
but you did it,
Yes.
and you lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
Those sound like really fun shore excursions. Do you ever not do shore excursions? Are you the type of people who like to sometimes stay on the ship or just go out and explore on your own?
For Bahamas, the first cruise we went to Atlantis.
Oh, did you go to the water park?
It was
It was like a private beach.
Yes, it was the beach.
But after that, we never got off on Nassau. We just stayed on the cruise.
Like 70% of all Disney passengers in Nassau. It's definitely still a very busy ship in Nassau, even once people get off.
And even for when we went to Grand Cayman, we stayed on.
Oh, Grand Cayman we stayed on also.
Oh, you didn't Tinder over?
No, because of Mexico, we got so burnt. We were uncomfortable. We just felt and we didn't have anything planned. We were initially just going to get off and sightsee, but we were uncomfortable because we got burnt, and we just relaxed on the ship, and it was fairly fairly empty. Not many people on.
Well, that just means that next time you do a Western Caribbean, you'll get to see things that you've never seen before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions here, but as we kind of finish up, what advice would you guys give young couples such as yourselves for their first time going on a Disney cruise? What are some of the things that you've kind of learned that you'd want to pass on to them?
I would say that even if you don't have kids, you're young and you're hesitant about it, just do it. Because you're not going to regret it. You're going to create some of the best memories that you would have never thought you would experience. I would even say possibly even try to get married on a cruise ship, because we
were
wedding.
Considering it too at the time.
And we seen a wedding on a cruise ship, and it was really, really nice.
Absolutely beautiful. We saw two. It was on the Very Merry Christmas cruise. Yeah. We saw two. That would be amazing if someone can get married on it.
And
Where did you actually get married?
We got married over here in Brooklyn. But it was Disney themed, our wedding.
Oh yeah? How was it themed, or what did you do?
I tried to do my dress was a Disney wedding dress.
Your wedding ring is...
My wedding ring is Disney also.
Do you have it on?
Yes.
I want to see.
It's
like a teardrop.
Thank you.
It's a name from Brave.
Brave. I don't know her name because she's not my favorite. I don't know her name.
Merida.
Yeah, Merida. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. This is everything we're talking about is the stuff that Christy loves. You'll have to send pictures. I didn't even know Disney made wedding dresses. I think maybe somewhere in the back of my mind I knew that, but
that's
Frozen,
cool, right?
Yeah, my dress was Elsa's dress.
Actually, somebody got married on our Halloween on the High Seas cruise, and I'm trying to remember now. I wish I would have taken a picture, because they had some just amazing outfits that they wore they got married right in front of the Halloween tree. And it was the day when we were in Nassau. And so they must have, I don't know how they worked it, but somehow they got the lobby for 30 minutes or something like that, or 20 minutes or however long it was to get married in front of the tree. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is.
Oh, that's right, Steve. You weren't on in the episode that Christy and I did about about a couple getting married in front of the Halloween on the High Seas.
Oh,
That was our episode without you.
Yeah. So people have done that at least twice now, so probably a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So I could imagine the Christmas cruise would be a kind of just a magical one to get married on too, with just the whole theming and the atmosphere.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So there's a new ship coming out, and they're actually building it. We've actually
Maybe
seen
you've heard of it.
pictures. Yeah, the Wish, which I'm sure you guys know about and are as excited as we are to see. What would you want to see? I'm going to put you on the spot here, and if you don't have a good answer, that's okay. I can cut this part out. But what would you like to see on the Wish? What's your wish for the Wish?
That's a good
Goodness,
question.
that's a good question.
Any type of like restaurant or like kind of like a
you have
couples
to narrow
area?
You have to narrow it down to like 3 things. What type of restaurant do you want to be on the Wish? Let's start there.
I think a specific, like maybe a theme. That's a tough
You got
one.
us on this one.
Oh, that's okay.
Well,
That's okay.
you said a theme. I think I've already given this answer before. I think it was maybe on Brian and Sam's show, Steve. But my pick would be Coco. I
Oh,
want a
you see,
Mexican
that's a good
restaurant.
one.
That's perfect.
I want a Mexican restaurant themed to Coco, and I want all the lights and like a Day of the Dead parade as a finale. Just
That's
like something
right.
really good.
Perfect.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, could you imagine like somebody up there, I guess Coco playing the guitar as you're eating too, and with the music and stuff? That would be. And who doesn't like Mexican food, right?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're going to be doing.
that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Well, they have these puppets. They have do a Day of the Dead celebration at California Adventure. So here in Los Angeles or in Anaheim, and they could easily bring those onto the ship and do a whole like mariachi style show. So I think my fingers would be crossed that they do something like that, because that would be really good.
They also have that similar puppet in Epcot.
Oh, an Epcot one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll go.
Well, Coco when he plays, yeah.
Well, there we go. We're all in agreement. Disney, if you're listening, we need a Coco themed restaurant for the Wish.
Well, you kind of talked about it before. I know you guys have a cruise planned this summer with the Disney Wonder up to Alaska. What are some of the things you guys are looking forward to seeing up in Alaska? What's exciting about that cruise?
I think just the scenery of the glaciers.
Yes, that's what I'm really excited for, to see. The scenery, the glaciers, just being outdoors and seeing.
Sightseeing.
Yes.
There's a specific port that it looks so nice, like the locals and seeing the restaurants there. And I mean, even though it's going to be cold, I'm like, that's okay.
And it might not be so cold. Both Steve and I have been on Alaskan cruises, and the weather can be like freezing New York level cold, and it can also be like a nice 70-degree day where it's like shorts and a t-shirt even.
Mm-hmm.
You
I know,
could bring out those really
it's-
fun pants where you zip off the legs and they turn into shorts.
Hopefully the pool is a hot tub that day.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we did not swim on our Alaskan cruise, but we did hot tub.
Yeah, that's pretty nice sitting in the hot tub watching the scenery go by. Do you guys like fish? You like seafood?
No.
I'm actually allergic.
Are you? Oh, okay. Well, there goes my advice on that.
Avoid the salmon.
Yes, avoid the fish, avoid the seafood.
I'll stick with the burgers and hot dogs.
Yeah, they do have reindeer sausage on the cruise ship up there sometimes, so you could try that, something a little bit different. So, well, Chris, Bianca, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We really had a fun time connecting with you guys and kind of hearing your story, your Disney and Disney Cruise Line story. And I know Chris and I wish you the best. I hope that cruise goes for you this summer. And when you guys get back to it, we'd love to have you come back on and tell us about your experiences in Alaska.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. We were so excited, so looking forward to this and get to speak to people about our experience.
Absolutely. We love to, especially now that nobody's cruising, we love to like look back on fond memories and talk about it with all of our new friends. So we're glad to have you.
Definitely. Well, keep the faith, and we will all be out there soon, and I'm sure that we'll see you sailing on one of those Disney Cruise Line ships soon, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, happy holidays,
Great.
and be well, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve and Chris.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to wrap up our show today. Once again, I really want to thank Bianca and Chris for coming on and sharing their experiences cruising with Disney Cruise Lines. You can just hear the passion in their voices. And it was great to get back and just do kind of one of our regular podcasts, which we haven't done in a while, talking to just an amazing couple out of New York City and their passion for cruising with Disney Cruise Line. I hope you enjoyed that. Look back on everything that they enjoy. And you, like the rest of us, I know, just can't wait to get back out there on the water. We hope they and the rest of us are out there sailing again soon. Well, if you've enjoyed this show, we sure would appreciate it if you go over to iTunes and leave us a review. That helps us get the message out in the cruising, Disney cruising, and just Disney podcast field in general. It gets our show known a little bit better and helps reach others who are interested in this type of content. Also, if you would like to support our show, you can do so via our Patreon program. You can go over to patreon.com/DCL podcast and find out all the information there. We do appreciate each and every one of our Patreon supporters who help bring you this show each and every month. Well, between now and our next show, if you are heading out on a vacation, a staycation, although I think those vacations are starting to get a little bit closer with the vaccinations rolling out for people that are getting vaccinated, feeling a little bit more confident and comfortable getting out there and exploring the world a little bit. All of us here at the DCL podcast, myself, Steve, Christy, and Chris, want to wish you and your family just be the best out there, be well, take care of each other, enjoy those adventures, and we'll see you next time on the DCL podcast. The DCL podcast is not affiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.